So if you want to know about 5 philosophies for intellectual development, then you have come to the right place. So when we're talking about these philosophies, they can have various benefits, and these benefits can be individual or for social benefit. But what are the inspirations behind these 5 philosophies? So we're going to be referencing various people such as Confucius, Foucault, Socrates, and Immanuel Kant, and these are 4 famous philosophies. And we're also going to reference the civil rights leader Martin Luther King. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Philosophy number 1, know thyself. And this is inspired by the great philosopher Socrates. So let's give a bit of context to this. So basically, before you understand the world, you need to understand yourself. So that's the premise. And in understanding yourself, do you know who are you? Do you know your strengths? Do you know your weaknesses, etc.? Another way to point this out is to say, do you understand your brain? Do you understand your emotions, your thoughts? Let's give a quick example. So let's take Jack. Jack works a 9 to 5 and he dislikes everyone in the office. He particularly dislikes Dan. He understands his weaknesses. But my question to Jack would be, do you understand your weaknesses? And this is the importance, to be consciously competent with regards to not only our strengths, but also with regards to our weaknesses as well. And this is very important for our intellectual and emotional development. Philosophy number 2, aim to excel in experience and theory. And this is inspired by the philosopher Immanuel Kant. So what does this mean? Well, let's break it down. So experience without theory is blind. Theory without experience is merely intellectual play. And that's a quote from Immanuel Kant. So let's give it a bit of context. So Jack is selling a course on running a business, but Jack has never ever run a business. He has no experience. So therefore he's falling victim here. So within this context, this philosophical context, the ultimate person would have experience and theory. So going back to the example of Jack, if Jack is selling a business, he would have A, had the experience of running a business, but B, he would also understand the theory behind running a business also. Now philosophy 3 is education for all, and this is courtesy of the great philosopher Confucius. Now to understand why this is important, it's important to look at the general history of education, and that is that education generally was a thing for the ruling class, and generally speaking, historically, poor people had no access to education. Now fortunately, we're living in a time where people have more access to education. For example, we have education resources, massive ones like Wikipedia, and we also have other educational resources like YouTube, and we also have more university access in today's age as well, generally speaking. So the ethos is that belief in education for all is the foundation for a more progressive society. Philosophy 4, we create our own truth, and this is courtesy of the philosopher Michelle Focault. Now to understand this concept, it's important to grasp the following, and that is that truth is not given to us, the truth is not discovered, the truth about ourselves is what we create. And this is why I used to say, don't discover yourself, invent yourself. Now, it's important not to mistake this, because it would be untruthful to say that people and society do not have an influence. However, the ultimate influence, according to this philosophy, is that we are the ultimate painters of our identity. Philosophy 5, and this is the final one, true education, and this is inspired by the great Martin Luther King. So what do we mean by true education? Well, the function of education, according to Martin Luther King, is to teach one intensively and critically. And also, there is the combination of intelligence plus character. And according to Martin Luther King, this is the goal of true education. So let's give an example. Let's take Jack. Jack has intelligence, he's able to think critically, but he has no character. And therefore, Jack, under this context, doesn't have true education. Let's give another example. Let's take Sally. Sally has intelligence plus character, and therefore, under this context, Sally has true education. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section what's your favourite philosophy. And if you have enjoyed the content, then please consider liking, subscribing and sharing.